never knew of a morning in Africa where he woke up and was not happy. It's an interesting sentiment for a writer as famously irascible as him. Then again, it's a hard heart that can hold out against the incredible beauty of the continent, and indeed this corner of it. Hemingway wrote of his time in Kenya, I write of South Africa, and this dramatic pocket of it. Yes folks, it's my first safari and I couldn't be more excited, especially since we get to begin at a very special spot.
This is God's window, look out.
Really, this must be one of the best spots in the whole of South Africa for game viewing. It really is.
God's window is, if anything, an understatement as we look over the bowl, as the river trundles by, as the clouds whiz overhead, as the sun slowly wakes and various creatures with it. I suspect this is going to be good. Scratch that, it's going to be amazing. And ensuring that it is, Rod Weeks of the Amakhala Game Reserve and Tim, our ranger for the day.
Well, here we are at Amakhala Game Reserve in the Eastern Cape, South Africa. It's a big park game reserve.
It's around 8,000 hectares at the moment.
So what are we hunting down today? And I specify hunting down as opposed to hunting.
Photographic shooting, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best
Yeah,
kind.
you can have a look for some elephants. I have seen there's two males down there. There's lots of black wildebeest, red hartebeest, plus giraffe.
I guess it's time to tear ourselves away from the spectacle and hit the trail. We have a lot of ground to cover, but Tim knows where to go and points me in the right direction. But first, what you and I need to know about game time in the South African bush.
These are wild animals. You never know. I know it's difficult, but you need to just stay relaxed and enjoy watching them. But we are taught how to read animals' behavior. So if it's showing any signs of aggression, we keep our distance.
What are the animals that you have to be the most respectful of?
Elephant, I'd say, one you have to respect the most is elephant.
They can be
very unpredictable. I mean, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to have them right next to you because you just don't know how they're going to react.
And how do they respond when you reach out with your arms outstretched and come here for a cuddle?
Well,
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, one of two things. They'll either run away or they'll attack. So.
Okay, so nix the cuddles then. And wouldn't you know it, our first full sighting is in fact a pachyderm parade. They're handsome creatures much larger than ours. Take a minute to soak it in because there is something otherworldly and impressive seeing these most majestic of animals not tied and fettered out here roaming free in the land that they belong to. And then, only minutes later, our first glimpse of the great African white rhino. So these are the double-horned rhinos?
Sorry, both species have got two horns.
Yeah.
So these are the white rhino.
All right.
If we try to get a closer look, we'll see they actually have flat mouth.
Okay. Also
known as square-lipped rhinoceros, and that's because they are grazers. They eat grass.
Right.
And it's quite incredible that their only diet is grass, and they reach about 2.3 tons.
Yeah. I know just how that goes.
Generally quite relaxed, quite passive. Obviously, if you get between a mom and a calf, that's not a good idea.
Right.
Or a dominant bull, but generally quite relaxed.
We inched closer and closer, and they, affable creatures as they are, just hung out around us doing what rhinos do. 4 of them, a family pack if you will, of the very modern kind. Here is what we have literally in front of me, 5 feet away. They are just grazing, they're not interested. It's a family of 3, mother, father, baby, and apparently a young male who's intrigued in breaking up the happy home. It's just magnificent, and best of all is the sort of casualness and the size of this group would possibly indicate again the incredible success of the rhino conservation movement here. This is an animal that was on the edge of extinction, right?
Yes, it is. They were looking quite close to extinction, and then through a combined effort through national parks, we're looking at around 15,000 to 17,000 for white, and then black rhino is around 3,000.
Leaving them then to their domestic disputes or the lack thereof, it was back to the road for us where every corner we turned opened up fresh views, fresh fauna with it too, an ostrich ambling by, antelope of all kind, and I mean all kinds, which also means 2 of the big 5 done already.
So first of all, you may have noticed that it is breathtakingly beautiful out here. We've not been out an hour and we've already seen impala, kudu, various kinds of antelope. This is me, by the way, showing off how in with the antelopes I am. We've seen rhinos from a distance, ostrich, and can't wait. Did I mention also that I think I spotted Pumbaa in the distance? He didn't come up to say hi, but I remain hopeful.
And so it seems the right time to take a cue from our 4-legged friends and get us some breakfast. At the Bush Lodge at the Amakhala Game Reserve, Tracy Weeks, I'm told, has a fine bush breakfast waiting for us.
Aneesha,
Hello.
this is Tracy.
Thank you.
The boss of the lodge.
She's the
and
boss of the lodge.
master
The master chef. I am delighted to meet you.
So if you'd like to follow through, we've got a full buffet here.
Nice.
Come and have a look.
Just as well then that I bought the appetite of an elephant, because this is a buffet built with the weary hunter in mind. Sugar, carbs and cream. Lots of it. Juices, fresh baked goodies, dive in or just graze, because there's a la carte too. Oh yes.
You come here for game drive, but we try and make sure that your tummies are full all the time. So welcome to Bush Lodge
Breakfast. Wow. It is bigger than an Irish and I didn't think that was possible. Yum.
Yum, just a little.
Oh yes. There it is, my big Bush Lodge breakfast. Eggs and ham and locally farmed sausage, mushrooms and beans and bread. It's a lot.
As much as possible, as quickly as possible.
Good plan.
I think South African breakfasts are very international, just with a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
So the normal, there's some local dishes that we tend to have every day to keep us going. The thing is that we're feeding you again in 2.5 hours.
Oh,
It's lunch.
I have to say I do like it here.
2 hours right back to the road so I can at least earn the excess. Or let's be honest, Tim can. And he does in no time at all. Who do we next spot lazily basking in the noonday sun but this gorgeous creature?
And this is our male cheetah, Mafana. So in Xhosa that means boy.
Okay.
He's about 3 years old. These are your fastest land mammals, 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, and then top speed 120. If you have a look, you can actually see those tear marks around the eyes, and that absorbs light away from the eyes.
Okay.
So when the sun's quite low down, that's when they do a lot of their hunting.
I do everything I can to get Mafana's attention. I'm even reduced to waving my not so enticing arm at him.
Wouldn't you like a bite of it?
But alas, he will have none of it.
He might stand up.
Like I'm bored now. I'm done with you.
He's done. That tells you straight away that he's completely relaxed with us.
Ah well, he gave us show enough. Speaking of show, the other thing that reserves like this offer is something called a vet safari. What do you need for that? Well, first, you find the vet.
Aneesha, this is Pete. He's our vet.
Nice to meet you. Been taking care of some animals that needed some treatment, so I got the dart gun down here that we were using.
Don't point it at anyone.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good first step.
I'm clearly not good at this. Expert help is required. And a target.
Aim at the tree and have a go.
Okay, I'm going to tranquilize a tree. That might be a first. Eeps.
I hit it, I think. Though mind you, sleepy shrubbery aside, this is important, exciting work.
There are a few aspects to what we do.
Right.
I'm a wildlife veterinarian, so
Right.
if wildlife is ill and needs assistance, then obviously we go and see to them. But when we have procedures such as rhino ear notching, DNA collection, putting on tracking collars,
I can be there and do that.
You can be there and you can assist us 100%.
So basically, I can actually help heal animals.
That's correct. And you
As-
don't need
as
to
a
be
civilian.
a veterinarian. You can
Yeah.
come even if you're not a veterinarian, and we have certain programs for non-vet. And on our courses, we'll let you shoot at a target with a practice dart. How's that? Then you don't have to tranquilize the tree.
But I like tranquilizing the tree.
Happily, the bush remains safe also since, and this is good news, no animals need help, I'll have to wait for the next time to get my hands in. It would have been the perfect note to end our morning's adventure, but then suddenly this. Antelope and zebras, and in the distance, my first giraffe sighting. Look at that.
So I'm just saying, we haven't yet met Alex, but right over there you can see Marty, and in the distance is Merman. Gloria has been banished because she's been a bad girl.
We wander a little further and they're everywhere. It's so cinematic. I feel as though I've wandered into my very own giraffe-filled Jurassic Park. Blown away, that's what I am. This is Africa. This is what you read about in the books, watch in the movies, or pore over in magazines. The question is, how do I recover from that? With apparently another South African surprise, this time of the edible kind.
Today we've done a traditional South African. So it is maize meal, which is staple diet.
Right.
And we've layered it with it's called chakalaka. So it's a vegetable spicy stew with beans and then a cheddar cheese. So it's layered and then it's baked.
And on cue, out come these perfect little cast iron pots.
It's a traditional potjie is what we call it.
A traditional?
Potjie.
Potjie.
That is correct.
And this potjie is filled with food that's local, food that's centuries in the making, food that would have been eaten even as they looked out on the very vistas I have enjoyed today.
And it's a staple diet. The local people will have it every single day. Whether for breakfast it will be had with sugar and milk, lunch we'll have it like this, and then dinner you'll have it with meat.
I can see why. It's creamy, it's hearty, it's packed full of flavor, it's laced with cheese.
Good?
Okay, this is rather ridiculously good. I mean,
So you like maize meal now?
what's not to like?
Add to that the grilled chicken kebabs and spiced salsa on the side, and by the way, a watering hole with the equally well-fed and well-watered behind us. What more could a day call for? You know quite a bit, but we're saving that for after the break.